Nice guys often find themselves in relationships where the woman is angry with them or the woman doesn't want to have sex with them. And that comes from how they're behaving, but also who they're choosing. So nice guys end up being in unhappy relationships. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. There's nothing attractive about a man who is a wimpy people pleaser with no backbone. So then it makes a woman mad and then she doesn't want to fuck him. So it's very simple. Now, a lot of this comes from them not setting boundaries. So we're going to talk about boundaries here in this chapter. This is how you know that you're not setting appropriate boundaries. There are things you can change. So the suggestion really is, okay, you can change yourself by starting to have a backbone, and that has to do with boundaries. And then if your partner will often change in response. But if they don't, you may find you want to leave this person, because nice guys often marry people who have a lot of issues and who are not good relationship partners. Here is how you can know that you avoid setting appropriate boundaries. Do you tolerate intolerable behavior? Do you avoid dealing with a situation because it might cause conflict? Do you not ask for what you want? Do you sacrifice yourself to keep the peace? I'm going to own up to it. When I was married, I'd had some of these things, especially when it came to our sexual relationship. Because, of course, I did ask for what I want, and he just said no, but I could have been firmer. And I wasn't. I was married, But I mean, I chose this guy, but again, I do not know if my stuff came from people pleasing. I think I just put up with stuff because I liked all the other parts of him. And I liked my family life, so I was willing to put up with things. And the only out for me would have been to leave him. And, I didn't want to leave him. I had a good family life. Sometimes life is complicated, you guys. I don't think that everybody can I'm going to digress for a moment. I do not believe that everyone is going to find one of the ones. There's not the one, but there are many people that could be like a very perfect life partner, despite ups and downs, very complimentary. And I do not think that everybody's going to find a person like that. That's why so many people are single. I think that there are some very fortunate people who find someone that they really have a strong enough bond with, that overall the relationship is healing and enjoyable and adds to their personal development, where they have the same values, they enjoy each other. I think those very few couples have that. I think the rest of the people are in relationships that are really not that fulfilling on an emotional and sexual level. And I had a relationship like that. I do not regret it. I learned a lot. He was a pretty good guy. I had a great family life. I'm so grateful for my children. But, I don't know if I could have ever found anyone better. So life is sometimes complicated, but now what I try to do in my life now I don't have to put up with anything like that. Now I can say, okay, when I'm unhappy with a situation, do I have the balls to let the person know? And sometimes I don't. It's hard, you guys. We all need this stuff. I'm telling you. Okay, so let's talk about boundaries. And boundaries are super hard. I'm going to tell you. So let me start here in the beginning. So before we get into boundaries, is that nice guys co-create their dysfunctional relationships because they're afraid of intimacy and they're afraid of being abandoned. So therefore, they do not let people get too close. They do not want someone to get to know them because they feel that they're inherently bad. So they have to hide huge parts of who they are from themselves and from other people. So they cannot let people get too close. Terrifies them because they could be found out. So this prevents a good relationship. This fear of intimacy, this fear of being found out, this fear of, if you really knew me, you would realize how bad I am. Or if you see a flaw in me, you're going to reject me. I have a little bit of that in me because, I had to be like certain ways when I was growing up, expectations or standards that my parents had or that I had for myself. Well, if you see this part of me, I can't even think of what that is now. But just sometimes I like to be lazy and lay around. I don't want people to see that part of me because they might get mad and tell me I'm lazy, as an example. That's why I'd rather live alone, because no one is here to tell me that I'm lazy for watching movies all day, frankly. Okay, now you guys all know, so that's good. I outed myself. The nice guy balances fear of vulnerability and fear of abandonment in people who are equally wounded and also have difficulty with intimacy. Together, they co-create relationships that frustrate all parties and also protect them from their fear of being found out. Nice guys also pick messed up partners so that they can focus on helping the partner and less focus is on him and his toxic shame. So he will pick these following partners with challenges. Single moms who are struggling. Now, not all single moms, so a lot of single moms who have it together, but single moms who are struggling, okay? He says single moms, but I'm going to disagree with that because there are a lot of really good single moms, so I'm going to say single moms who are struggling. This is my edit on this book. People with financial problems, women who are angry, addictive, depressed, overweight, non-sexual, or unable to be faithful. The nice guy likes these women because he can focus on helping them and fixing them and caretaking them, and that takes the focus off of him. Now, the other thing that the nice guy does is he has two different kind of ways of balancing his fear of vulnerability. The first is by becoming enmeshed with the person, okay? He makes his partner his emotional center. His world revolves around her. He will do whatever it takes to make her happy. Gifts, fixing her problems. He sacrifices wants and needs to win her love. He will tolerate her bad moods, her rage attacks, her addictions, and her emotional and sexual unavailability because he loves her so much. He's enmeshed. Same way he was enmeshed with his mom, maybe, but he's enmeshed. The other type of pattern for the guy is the avoider. The avoider, before I go into the avoider, let me continue with the enmeshment. The enmeshment type of nice guy is a table dog. That's a good word for it. He's so blunt, he calls them whims, spineless table dogs. They're like little dogs who stand beneath a table just in case a scrap happens to fall their way. Enmeshing nice guys do the same hovering routine around their partner just in case she happens to drop him a scrap of sexual interest, a scrap of her time, a scrap of a good mood, or a scrap of her attention. On the surface, it appears the enmeshing nice guy desires and is available for an intimate relationship, but this is an illusion. His pursuing and enmeshing behavior is an attempt to hook up an emotional hose to his partner. This emotional hose sucks the life out of her and fills an empty place inside of him. This is why nice guys are so repulsive, because they're empty inside and they're sucking all this energy out of this person. Little table dogs, not just patient little table dogs, but they're sucking the energy, and you can feel it as the woman, you can feel it. The nice guy's partner unconsciously picks up on this agenda and works like hell to make sure the nice guy can't get close enough to hook up the hose. So the nice guy's partner is often seen as the one preventing the closeness the nice guy desires. Okay, so we're talking about this balancing act of fear of vulnerability and fear of abandonment. So one strategy is to be enmeshed. Okay, that way you try to get so close to this person they will never leave you. You suck the life force out of them, the enmesher. The second type of nice guy is the avoider. The avoider is a tougher to get a handle on. He seems to put his job, hobby, parents, and everything else before his primary relationship. He may not seem like a nice guy to his partner at all because he's often nice to everyone but her. He may volunteer to work on other people's cars. He may spend weekends fixing his mother's roof. He may work 2 or 3 jobs. He may volunteer. He may coach his children's sports teams. Even though he may not follow his partner around and cater to her every whim like the enmesher does, he still operates from a covert contract that since he's a nice guy, his partner should be available to him even if he isn't available to her. Both the enmesher and the avoider inhibits any real kind of intimacy from occurring. They help the nice guy feel safe, but they won't help him feel loved. Now we're going to talk about the relationship with the mom. And this is what I have seen so many moms, not every woman who has children is emotionally stable. And a mom also has to be her own being. She cannot use her children for emotional comfort. We cannot sabotage other people's identity for emotional comfort and use our power over our children, especially there's a power imbalance. This is a different dynamic than between couples, to get our needs met. And if a mother uses her son to get her own needs met, this son is set up to be a nice guy and a people pleaser because he learned that's how you treat women. It's very unfortunate. It is human nature to be attracted to what is familiar. Because of this reality, nice guys create adult relationships that mirror the dynamics of their dysfunctional childhood relationships. If listening to his mother's problems as a child gave a nice guy a sense of connection, he may grow up believing such behavior equals intimacy. He will have to pick a partner who has her fair share of problems. I do not believe that you should listen to women who complain a lot. If a woman has to come home every day and complain, she needs to fix her life or you could dump her. I think it's just bullshit. And a mother is not supposed to go to her child for her problems. She has to go to other adults to discuss her problems. It is child abuse when a mother seeks comfort or listening for her problems for a child. That is child abuse. Just so you know, if your mother came to you with her problems or her adult issues or discussed her adult friendships or relationships with men with you, that's child abuse. It was inappropriate, a violation of boundaries, and disrespectful. Very bad behavior on the part of mom. Okay, if a boy was trained to caretake and fix needy or dependent family members, the nice guy may find a way to do the same in his adult relationships. I have talked to women as well as men who stepped in to protect a younger sibling from their abusive parent by distracting them, for example. These people are set up to be codependent as adults. They are people pleasers, they're fixers, and they always look for people they can help or fix because they learned as a young child they just fell into a routine of I protect people, I fix people, and they tend to have a lot of health issues too because it's like fibromyalgia and overweight, and all these issues come with this stuff, you guys. It's robbing someone of their childhood when the child has to fix or caretake, or in that show 19 Kids and Counting, from the time this little girl was 6, she had a buddy. She already had to start changing diapers. It is child abuse to make a child do the things that an adult is supposed to do. It's too much responsibility. It traumatizes them, and they're going to need a lot of therapy if they ever want to be healthy, these people. Okay. Another dysfunctional childhood type is if he believes he can only get his own needs met after he had met the needs of other more important people, he learns to sacrifice himself for the sake of his partner. If he was abandoned in childhood, he may choose partners who are unavailable or unfaithful. Those incel guys who are saying all women cheat, it's because your mom cheated or your dad cheated or someone abandoned you. It's just childhood stuff. It's not even reality. If he grew up with an angry, demeaning, or controlling parent, he may choose a partner with similar traits. Now, sometimes the nice guy will marry someone who is totally healthy, but because of his own ways of thinking how the partner is, he unconsciously brings out these traits in this person. He projects his issues onto this other person. He may project upon her one or more traits of his parents. He may act as if she is a certain way, even if she isn't. His unconscious dysfunctional needs may literally force his partner to respond in an equally unconscious way. Nice guys also try to remain monogamous to their moms. This is, here are some ways that you know if you unconsciously maintain a monogamous bond to your mother. Over-involvement with work or hobbies. Creating relationships with people who need fixing. Addictions to drug or alcohol. Affairs. Sexual dysfunction. Lack of desire, inability to get or maintain an erection, or premature ejaculation. Forming relationships with women who are angry, sick, depressive, compulsive, addicted, unfaithful, or otherwise unavailable. Avoiding intercourse or taking vows of celibacy. Now, another reason that nice guys have bad relationships is because they're bad enders. They spend too much time trying to make bad relationships work. When healthy individuals recognize that they have created a relationship that is not a good fit, or that a partner they have chosen lacks the basic qualities they desire, they move on. Not nice guys. Due to their conditioning, they just keep trying harder to get a non-workable situation to work or get someone to be something they are not. So if you're in an unhappy relationship and you're not changing yourself, or you're just trying to change the other person, and you're unhappy and you're not addressing it, you could be a nice guy. Like, why are you in this relationship? So here are some ways. There are no perfect relationships or perfect partners, but here's a good strategy that you can do, some things you can do. Put yourself first, approve of yourself, reveal yourself to safe people, eliminate covert contracts, take responsibility for your own needs, express your feelings, set boundaries, and embrace your masculinity. If you are in a relationship, the program of recovery from the nice guy syndrome will seriously affect you and your partner. One of two things will happen. Either your present relationship will grow and evolve in exciting and unpredictable ways, or it will end. And here's a section on boundaries. I have to talk about boundaries. You have to have boundaries because women do not feel safe knowing that we can push you around. We want to know that you can stand up to us. That's how we will feel secure in the relationship. Also, if you cannot stand up to me, how can you stand up for me? When I see that you stand up to me, I know you will stand up for me. Setting boundaries also creates respect. To help nice guys decide if they need to set a boundary with a particular behavior, you can apply the second date rule. Okay, this is the second date rule, you guys. Ask yourself, if this behavior had occurred on the second date, would there have been a third? This helps you see if you've been putting up with something that you shouldn't. And when trying to decide how to deal with the behavior they've deemed unacceptable, I encourage nice guys to apply the healthy male rule. Ask yourself, how would a healthy male handle this situation? Once you know that you can set a boundary, then you can feel comfortable letting people close to you, because you know at any point you can tell someone no. A lot of times people reinforce bad behavior by allowing it. So when we don't say no, when we allow bad behavior, we're enforcing it. We're letting people know that it's okay. Nice guys have a tendency, due to their own insecurities, to pick partners who seem like they need a little polishing. We talked about this earlier, but again, they tend to pick partners who have had troubled childhoods. Everyone, I'm going to tell you, this is for men and ladies both. We have to absolutely avoid dating people who have issues. I already have said I would never date someone with a mental health issue or depression or anxiety who is on meds. That's my own personal, but we're going to add to what he also has in this book. People with troubled childhoods. Avoid people with troubled childhoods like the plague. They have issues that they often will not heal from even after years of therapy. Avoid people. So nice guys, I'm going to say in general, these are people who make very poor relationship partners. People who have had troubled childhoods, are sexual abuse survivors, very bad, have had a string of bad relationships, are depressed, have money problems, are overweight, or struggling single moms, or really anyone who's struggling in their life. Avoid. Then these nice guys go to work operating from a covert contract. They pick these partners, then they fix, caretake, and please them, all with the hope that she will turn out to be a polished gem. The best thing is to pick someone who is already taking responsibility for her own life. And then he has some traits that he and the other guys in the No More Mr. Nice Guys groups have come up with. You want to consciously look for women who have the following traits: passion, integrity, happiness, intelligence, sexual assertiveness, financial responsibility, commitment to personal growth. And ladies, I think this is a good list for us as well, that to look for a man who's got passion, integrity, intelligence, who is happy, sexually assertive, financially responsible, and committed to personal growth, and who's into us. I'm going to add that too. So that ends the chapter on picking a better relationship, and then the next one will be about sex. So that's going to be the next video.